sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, smash that subscribe button, turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm saying a very big shout out to every one of you for the support you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a video a pump-colored woman actually made saying that why are we boycotting? That is it not affecting people that are working there? Sincerely speaking, people that are working there are also looking for a way to live, and they are also not supporting the genocide that is going on. And because you are a pump color, you all know that you cannot trust them, pump color women, when it comes to doing something right. And they are out there trying to look for a way to say one or two things because they do not want. I just do not understand them sometimes. But all I can say is please keep boycotting. If there is something you know that there is no need buying something you do not need. That television, Black Friday, there is no Black Friday this year. Do not go and buy television because you want to. The one you bought last year, what happened to it? The phone you bought last year, what happened to it? There is no need upgrading. I am not upgrading, so please do not upgrade. If you upgrade, you are also helping them with the genocide they are committing in Congo and some other countries. So please do not support genocide. Boycott them. Tell somebody to boycott them. Let's get into this video.
Okay, people that are boycotting Starbucks, I have a genuine question for you. Please don't cancel me. Genuine question. So by boycotting Starbucks and shutting these stores down because people are saying that there's stores shutting down countrywide and worldwide, whatever, are these people losing their jobs? By boycotting Starbucks and shutting down these stores, are you destroying these people's lives because they are probably living paycheck to paycheck? It's so hard to live in this economy with these prices, and it's hard to find a job. And now they don't have one. That's not caring about humanity. Second of all, do you think Starbucks gives a fuck about a couple stores closing down? No. They are a multi-million-dollar company, and they are still going to make their money. And when this trend dies down, they're still going to be a multi-million-dollar company.
So let's talk about the biggest thing I want to point out at the end of the clip. She states that when this trend dies down, that like everything is essentially going to go back to normal. And once again, this is incredibly telling about what white tea activism looks like. You guys are willing to call everything a trend because to you, it is a trend. That is what it is. To you, it is something that you can just post little black squares about and use little watermelon filters and talk about how you're going to boycott Starbucks, but then go back there in like a week. It is a trend to you. But for many people who are fighting for not only workers' rights and class consciousness and class solidarity, this has never been a trend. You guys are telling on yourselves, though. The number one problem that we continue to face in this country is because people like this girl view everything as something that is just cute. It's just a cute little thing that people are doing, and not that people are actively fighting for their rights. Not only that, but let me show you what Starbucks workers at a location are actively doing today in what they are calling the Red Cup Rebellion.
Store to be unionized in Colorado.
So not only are people, everyday people, calling for a boycotting and a strike against Starbucks, but Starbucks employees themselves are also asking for it. And now don't get me wrong, not every single Starbucks location is unionized, and that is a problem because it makes it difficult for people in non-unionized Starbucks to get the rights that they deserve. But the issue in that being that we have to fight for the rights of Starbucks workers so that they can become unionized, so that they can have the control that they need over these corporations. It's honestly incredibly disheartening. And not only that, but it just goes to show that most of you have no morals when it comes to literally anything. You will get online to try to discredit people when people who work within Starbucks themselves are asking for people to boycott. The other thing here is that people are currently losing their jobs. There are Starbucks employees, former Starbucks employees, who have lost their jobs speaking out against what Starbucks is doing. You guys want to try to make it seem like you care about the overall solidarity and people losing their jobs when you don't. I use the statistic at least once a day. 60 to 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck as we currently speak. You guys don't care to bring up those people, though, who are currently struggling to get by from paycheck to paycheck. There have been mass layoffs at a bunch of tech companies in the last couple of weeks, and none of you care to speak on it. But because you think things are trends, because you look out and see that your favorite Starbucks doesn't have employees anymore because it's been shut down, that's when you get online and start to complain. You don't care that those workers are losing their jobs. You just care that you're not going to be able to get your Starbucks order today. And that's a problem. The amount of you who are going to try to co-opt this and try to say, but what about the workers, when the workers, again, themselves are asking for people to boycott, is incredibly telling. There are people right now who are currently losing their jobs and have lost their jobs because they have decided to stand up for Palestine, because they have decided to stand up for Congo, because they have in the past or presently have stood up for Black Lives Matter, because they have stood up against the atrocities that are being committed by these major corporations all over the world. And you guys don't speak about those people. But when it has the ability to impact you or people around you on a day-to-day basis in a way in which that you are not comfortable with, that's when you guys get online to say shit like this. I promise you, I know for a fact I'm gonna go through that girl's account right now, and there will have not been a single video about worker solidarity or any of the strikes that are happening or anything like that. But she will stick her neck out for a multi-million-dollar company like Starbucks that has literally tried to destroy multiple locations because its workers have tried to stand up for their rights. You people are not only unserious, but you are incredibly dangerous in a growing movement where people all over the country, whether or not it be nurses, it be doctors, whether or not it's flight attendants, whether or not it's teachers, whether or not it's Starbucks employees, whether or not it's people within the automaker industry, whether or not it's writers and actors, are all demanding more rights. You guys still choose to be on the wrong side and try to demonize workers' movements. And that is a problem.
Okay, people that are boycotting Starbucks, I have a genuine question for you.
What's up, guys? So you already know what time it is. I'm going to deconstruct this video. And spoiler alert, she was not genuine. She was actually as bad faith as it gets. But I'm gonna pretend like she was genuine.
So by boycotting Starbucks and shutting these stores down because people are saying that their stores shutting down countrywide and worldwide, whatever, are these people losing their jobs?
So this is the first main point that she makes. Now, I'll be fully transparent. She does say a little bit more, but most of it is just the same point resaid, so I didn't feel like I needed to show it. So number one, Starbucks absolutely has the money to pay its workers. Not only pay them better than what they are paying them, but also continue to pay them an adequate wage if they lose sales. The problem is corporations mainly care about profit, specifically maximizing their profit. Most multi-million and multi-billion dollar corporations don't care about their employees. Number two, because of this, Starbucks workers are actively striking. A couple of the reasons that they're striking is because of inadequate scheduling, too high of a demand on mobile orders on promotional and high volume days, and because Starbucks increased wages for non-union workers, which mind you is illegal. The chain is literally facing hundreds of unfair labor practice charges.
Second of all, do you think Starbucks gives a fuck about a couple stores closing down? No.
So a couple of stores closing down? Not necessarily. But that's why it's important to start affecting a business's bottom line. And a business's bottom line is basically their net profit after deducting expenses from their revenue. Because if you start affecting their bottom line, that's when they start caring. Which is why we need more and more people on board.
And they're still going to make their money. And when this trend dies down, they're still going to be a multi-million-dollar company.
To me, it seems very telling that you call this a trend. And to me, it just shows that you just don't really understand how boycotts work. And I also think the fact that you call it a trend is also a bit of a projection.
And I say trend because this war has been going on for decades. You didn't care about it 3 years ago.
Like you already brought up, a lot of us didn't know about it 3 years ago. And that's because the West propaganda machine is still incredibly strong. I think that it is losing its power, especially as social media gets bigger. But for a lot of us, this was the first time that we'd heard anything about this. This was the first time that many people felt okay to speak up. And I think it's a weird hill to die on to say, oh, well, you weren't talking about it 3 years ago, so why are you talking about it now? You want me to ignore something just because I didn't know about it sooner? Now, my basic understanding of this point is you're talking about like performative activism. And maybe not everyone will necessarily agree with me here, but I would rather everyone be posting about this genocide happening in front of our very eyes, even if some of it is performative, as opposed to ignoring it. All of the ICU patients in the Al-Shifa hospital literally died because of lack of fuel. 45% of Gaza's homes are destroyed. 4,500 children are dead. Why would I not want everyone talking about that?
You want to feel like you're a good human being, right? What about the BLM movement you were posting about 3-4 years ago?
So to an extent, I do understand what you're saying in this clip. Yes, I do people think that just protesting for a short period of time will enact real change. And that's typically because they're uneducated about how nonviolence works. I do believe that people need to mobilize more and get in touch with grassroots organizations so that we can ensure that the momentum keeps going for actual tangible change. But again, I feel like the call is coming from inside of the house because maybe you stopped talking about it. Maybe you're not involved with local organizations. Maybe it was just a trend to you. But for the people it does affect, we haven't stopped talking about it.
The same people that are boycotting Starbucks are the same people that shop at child labor supporting companies, right? Like Shein, H&M.
Your next point is going to touch on like ethical consumption under capitalism. And to some extent, I don't think there's any ethical consumption under capitalism. But we can try to be more sustainable. We can try to be more ethical, especially as we learn more. I don't shop at H&M or Shein. I thrift a lot of my clothes. I don't intend on getting a new phone until Colton is sourced ethically. But again, if we can actually mobilize and boycott these companies, we can absolutely force them to be more ethical. The other option is just to continue to shop at these companies and not care. Which, I don't know, again, that's such a weird hill to die on for me.
But other than that, not buying your $5 drink at Starbucks is literally not going to stop the war.
Okay, so maybe you just have a fundamental misunderstanding of why we're boycotting Starbucks, because nobody is boycotting Starbucks to stop the war. Again, Starbucks workers themselves are striking. And not even because of the massacre going on in Gaza, but because of Starbucks' own internal practices. I would very much encourage you to go look into boycotts and striking historically. And once you've read a thing or two, come back and tell me what you've learned. And if you're not willing to do the work, then stick to your little chaotic get ready with me's. And stop trying to take a neutral stance or play devil's advocate. Because all you've really done is A, get on the internet and look uneducated, and B, do the exact same thing you're accusing other people of doing. This is just performative activism for Starbucks baristas because you didn't care about them a month ago. You just wanted to get on the internet and appear morally superior.
So this is all I got from this, and all I can say is keep boycotting. If there is anything you have to also boycott, please make sure you are boycotting. I mean, there are Starbucks, there are so many other local stores you can support, coffee stores you can support, and there are also, if you do not need to buy any new gadgets, there is no need for you to buy them, like, you know, just because it is iPhone 15. Sincerely speaking, I wanted to get iPhone 15 for myself for my recording. But I said, no, you all can be killing people out there in Congo. And I am going to patronize you. I am not patronizing. I still have my phone. And I am not buying any new thing. Not until something is right. Because I know this boycotting is also, it is going to affect them in the end. Because the money they were making before or something, they won't be making up to that anymore. Because a lot of people now understand what they are doing. Puma, Disney, all of them, Samsung, if you have to boycott them, boycott all of them. That is the essence of, I mean, if they don't want to hear our voices, they definitely will hear it from their purses, because if they are not getting patronage from people anymore, it definitely will affect their purses and they will do the right thing. So keep boycotting. You all know that you cannot trust a pop-colored woman when it comes to boycotting something or when it comes to doing right. They will rather stick with what they think it's okay, or even when they know it is not okay, or even when they know it is also affecting them, they will not come out and speak up. They will rather step back, where that has always been their modus operandi. That is how they operate. Even when it is affecting every other person, as long as it is not affecting them, even when it is also affecting them, they just want to sit back and do the right thing at the right time. You can imagine. Do the wrong thing at the wrong time. I guess that is the right thing to say. But please continue boycotting. Keep boycotting. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. You don't have to go to McDonald's. You can go to other local stores. You don't have to go to like all these stores that you know that are supporting the genocide that it's going on. Kindly boycott them. That is what we can do for the kids in Congo, because a lot of kids are dying off because of what they are doing. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.